Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to the Gamecube version of Pikmin on day 4. We are returning to the impact site to do a little bit of cleanup here. There's one other ship part here that we need to make sure we're able to get, and this day also kind of serves as a relaxing change of pace from the previous adventures we've had in Pikmin. Day 2 and Day 3 were both very chaotic and precise. They needed a lot of work in order to be done right. And here, on Day 4, we don't need to worry about any of that. Day 4 is all about getting the one part and basically just growing a lot of Pikmin. Pretty much all of the Pikmin that we are going to be using from this point forward, we are going to grow on this day. Aside from the occasional circumstance when, you know, a bunch of Pikmin get eaten and we need to grow some more in a quick fashion. But, yeah. More or less, every Pikmin we'll be using from now until the end of the game will be grown on this day. And you'll see why in a little while. And oh boy, the Pikmin's just knack for doing things you don't want them to always becomes a problem. They'll just grab things and run off with them, and Olimar will continue to tell us this message that he already told us 2 times, which is great. And there's also that little bug running around, that flint beetle, that the Pikmin like to instinctively attack when they end up coming by. It's kind of obnoxious when it happens. The only way to really make them go away is to throw Pikmin on top of them and get them to drop goodies, which is nice. It's nice. But other than that, they really do just kind of end up getting in the way, and it's not a lot of fun. Pikmin will chase them around everywhere, and yeah, it's something else. What's also something else you might end up noticing, though, is that there's a lot more here than there was when we were here last. There's a lot more pellets and stuff lying around that were not on the tutorial day. And like I said, this day is really just primarily about grabbing this one ship part and growing a bunch of Pikmin. And look, we found the positron generator. By combining batteries with solar cells, this machine can generate incredible amounts of electricity. What a timely find. Those instant space noodles will taste better heated up. But we already found a part that apparently gives Olimar infinite electricity, so I don't know why he needs this one. That ship part was also in an enemy called a Pearly Clam, which normally, as you can see here, has a pearl growing in it. And what this pearl signifies is that it gives us a lot of Pikmin. It's something like 50 Pikmin, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's definitely a lot. Can't remember if 50 Pikmin is the exact number. Of course, as demonstrated, you need to make sure that you call Pikmin back before the clam shell shuts, or they get munched on. And also, I've never really been able to figure out the proper way to fight, quote-unquote, the Pearly Clam. You've got to toss Pikmin into the mouth in order to attack the pearl. And, it feels like that should be straightforward enough, but sometimes the Pikmin just don't attack the pearl, and it takes a bunch of attempts to actually get said pearl. It's not very obvious at all what's really you're supposed to do. Sometimes they attack it, sometimes they don't. I don't really know why, honestly. And also, there's a gate up there that we need to knock down, which, we can take care of quick enough with some bomb rocks. Just as long as we blow it up before these other Pikmin arrive. Don't want to catch 21 Pikmin in the explosion. Definitely not. But anyway, we're giving one of the Pearly Clam Clan pearls to the blues and one to the yellows. And that will end up, in addition to all the other hundreds of pellets and things lying around here, that will end up giving us enough Pikmin, enough of a supply, so to say, to really give us enough to work with for the rest of the game. We shouldn't have to worry about growing a ton of Pikmin after this, honestly. Also, I'm just realizing that they're carrying these parts back this way instead of through the shortcut where that gate was. And I don't know if I even really thought about that at the time when I was playing. But, yeah, apparently they didn't appreciate me opening up that shortcut for them. Oh yeah, now that we've recovered that part, though, really this entire day is just all about gathering Pikmin. There's nothing else here to really threaten us, and no matter... Even though this environment has changed a lot, the only actual enemies in it right now are the Pearly Clam Clams, and they don't really do anything to threaten you. Speaking of things happening, though, we've got that part back to the ship! Hooray! Positron generator. This electric generator is so powerful that if you approach it carelessly, you'll get an electric shock. I've now recovered 9 of 30 parts. If I can find just 3 more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Hoorah! And yeah, that's our only major mission done for the day. We do not have to worry about basically anything else past this point. We just have to worry about gathering up Pikmin. There's those big 20 pellets lying around. As you can see already, the pearls that have gone back have basically given us 100 Pikmin, it looks like. So yeah, I think the number it gives you is definitely 50 Pikmin each. And, yeah. We also just kind of have to worry about accidentally leaving Pikmin lying around here, because they do get trapped in the box there and things like that. It's kind of obnoxious. But the rest of the day is just going to be smooth sailing, really. There's not going to be anything here to threaten us. There's not going to be anything we really need to worry about. Though that does actually change, depending on the day you come back to the impact site. Any day past day 8 is when special enemies will start to spawn. Actually, right here, where I'm wandering around right now. On even-numbered days, an enemy called a Mamuta will spawn. And Mamuta, other than a single level in the challenge mode of Pikmin 1, this is the only place where he shows up. Mamuta doesn't actually even technically fight your Pikmin. He slams them into the ground, but he doesn't kill them. He just smushes them so they're planted again, and they actually, in that case, will instantly become flowers, which is pretty handy, honestly. If you're in need of a lot of flower-type Pikmin, you can actually use Mamuta to your advantage, though you would have to take all the time to re-pluck your Pikmin, which is kind of annoying. And starting on day 9, on odd days, a different enemy called a Gulix will show up, who is just a big blob of water. So naturally, fighting him with blue Pikmin is the optimal choice, because they would be completely immune to taking any damage from him. It's actually kind of a unique enemy, and not very much like anything else that shows up in Pikmin 1, really. It's a very interesting case. And other than that particular instance, he actually doesn't show up anywhere else in the game. So unfortunately, we actually won't be seeing him at all, which is a little disappointing, I guess. Yeah, that's actually not the only time that happens, too. The environments over the 30 days in-game, they do change over time. In other areas, other enemies will start to show up where they weren't previously, and things like that. It's actually pretty creatively set up. It makes the world of the Pikmin feel more alive, that it changes over time without Olimar's influence. Just things naturally happen that would normally happen in real life. Other animals move from place to place and things like that. And also Clyde was just there, caressing that stick and not climbing up it for some reason. So, go Clyde! It's always a yellow Pikmin. It's always a yellow Pikmin. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case. Oh dear. But yeah, honestly, there's not much else to say about this day overall. Now that we've gathered those pearls and gathered most of the large pellets, it's really just smooth sailing forward. We'll have a very large number of Pikmin by the time we're done with this, and we'll have all the Pikmin we could possibly need for the rest of our adventure. Also, it's important to just kind of check the map once in a while to make sure Pikmin aren't being left anywhere weird, because they do like to get hung up on things and just kind of get stuck and just sit there and not do anything when you want them to be doing something. It can be a bit of a pain. And that actually brings me to a point that I don't think I really discussed yet. It's important to match the pellet color with the color Pikmin that you're bringing the pellet, that you're having carry the pellet back to their onion. I'm actually being kind of haphazard with it right now. I could be being a little more careful. But if you bring a pellet back to the onion of the same color Pikmin, it actually results in you sprouting more Pikmin. In the case of one pellet, you sprout 2 Pikmin instead, but in the case of other pellets, the 5 pellets, 10 pellets, the 20 pellets, it doesn't give you more Pikmin, but it does give you... Not that it gives you more Pikmin. That's the wrong way to put it. It doesn't give you any bonus Pikmin, but if you bring a pellet of a larger size to the wrong onion, it doesn't give you as many Pikmin. Basically, the number on the pellet indicates how many Pikmin you get if you bring it back to the correct onion, with the exception of the one pellet, which just doubles in size. And in the case, the Pikmin will always bring the pellet back to the onion of the majority of Pikmin carrying it. Like, if it's mostly blue Pikmin carrying something, they will bring it back to the blue onion. And I'm not sure, like, how the game necessarily determines what to do if, like, the Pikmin are, like, evenly split. Like, say, if you pick up a one pellet, if you have one red and one yellow carrying it back, I think it's just kind of like a 50-50 chance of what onion they end up carrying it back to. I'm not really actually sure on the probabilities or what determines that in that case. But the general rule just generally is, have Pikmin of the appropriate color carry the pellets back to the appropriate onion if you want to spawn the most Pikmin. Again, I was being just kind of half-assed and not really paying attention to anything like that right now. And right now the Pikmin are just dancing. It's the end of day dance. That's all I can really describe it as. And I'm not sure if it's just the fact that there weren't as many messages popping up or whatnot, but it feels like days go by faster when you're on the impact site. It only took about 15 minutes-ish overall, whereas other days can take anywhere from like 18 to 20 minutes. But again, it might just be just that there weren't nearly as many of Olimar's messages popping up, since we only had to worry about the one ship part. Anyway, day 4 is done. Relatively simple. A Bulborb cries out in hunger. 4 days since impact. I have seen that at times, the leaf atop a Pikmin's head will grow into a bud and then a flower. It appears that if I do not pick Pikmin sprouts, they will gradually bloom over time. Fascinating. This melding of plant and animal traits is surely unique in the natural world. A very astute observation, Olimar. I have found the increased swiftness of the flower Pikmin to be of tremendous benefit. Also, my diligent observation has recorded instances in which flower Pikmin lost in battle have left seeds behind. This is why on days after fierce battles, I occasionally will find new sprouts growing. Both very true statements, and we can see the wildly huge results of day 4 right on the screen here. We sprouted a grand total of 228 Pikmin, bringing all of our Pikmin totals up over 100. And we unfortunately lost 3 Pikmin to the Pearly Clams. But at least we didn't leave any behind today, so that's nice. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna call it for right now. Thank you very much for watching Pikmin with me, your good friend Sparky. I'm signing off for right now, and I'll catch you later.